Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever felt that there is something guiding you, a voice without sound, a presence without form, subtly nudging you towards certain decisions, thoughts, or feelings? This is not coincidence, it is the divine at work, communicating with you. You see, God is always speaking, but it's our ability to recognize His communication that shapes the course of our lives. When we speak of inner promptings, we are referring to a subtle yet profound experience that often goes unnoticed in the busyness of daily life. These promptings are those quiet, intuitive nudges that seem to come from within, guiding our actions, decisions, and thoughts in ways that may not always be logical or immediately clear. But if you've ever felt a sudden urge to call someone, take a different route home, or make a decision without fully understanding why, you've experienced an inner prompting. The nature of these promptings is delicate, often manifesting as a faint feeling rather than a loud, commanding voice. Many of us have learned to ignore these moments, dismissing them as mere thoughts or coincidences, but they are far more than that. These subtle signals are divine in origin. They are a form of communication from a higher power, attempting to direct us toward our true path. The difficulty lies in recognizing them for what they are and trusting them enough to follow their lead. Often inner promptings arise in moments of stillness when the mind is quiet enough for something deeper to emerge. In the silence of your own thoughts, a message can emerge, guiding you toward a certain action or mindset. This is not random, it is purposeful. It is a divine nudge, seeking to bring you closer to your purpose, to a higher level of understanding, or to a necessary change in your life. However, the challenge for many is in recognizing these subtle impulses. Modern life is full of noise, both external and internal. With constant distractions, from technology to the demands of daily life, it can be difficult to hear the soft whispers of intuition. But just because these promptings are quiet does not mean they are insignificant. The more you attune yourself to them, the clearer they will become. This requires you to slow down, to listen to your heart and mind with a heightened sense of awareness. A mind clouded by fear, doubt, or constant worry often blocks out these divine messages. Only by clearing the internal clutter can you create the space necessary for these promptings to come through. It is in moments of peace that you are most open to hearing the guidance that is being offered. When you begin to recognize and follow these inner promptings, you'll often find that they lead you to surprising, sometimes even miraculous outcomes. This might not always make sense in the moment. You may feel an intuitive pull towards something that seems illogical or unnecessary. You may not understand why you feel compelled to take a certain action or make a specific decision, but the power in these promptings lies in trusting them, even when they defy your rational mind. Many people find that, in hindsight, these moments of intuition often led them exactly where they needed to be, even if it didn't make sense at the time. The key is trust in the source of the promptings and trust in yourself to follow through on them. The more you practice this, the more you will realize that these subtle nudges are always aligned with your highest good. At times, inner promptings come through as a sense of knowing, a deep-seated feeling that something is true or right for you, even if it contradicts what others may think or what your current situation might suggest. This knowing can be uncomfortable because it often pushes you beyond your comfort zone, urging you to take risks, make changes, or move in directions that challenge your current reality. But it's precisely this discomfort that indicates growth. These promptings are not meant to keep you where you are. They are meant to push you towards something greater, something more aligned with your true self. The more you listen to these inner promptings, the more you strengthen your connection with the divine. Each time you act on a prompting, you affirm your trust in the higher guidance that is being offered to you. This creates a positive feedback loop. The more you trust, the clearer the promptings become. In time, they may start to feel less like quiet whispers and more like clear, undeniable directions. But this clarity only comes through practice, through continually choosing to listen, even when it's difficult. And when you do follow through on these inner promptings, you'll notice how things begin to align. Opportunities may suddenly present themselves. Challenges you were previously struggling with may resolve in unexpected ways. You might meet someone who provides exactly what you need at that moment. This is not coincidence, it is the result of aligning with divine communication. Repeating patterns are one of the most intriguing ways in which divine communication makes itself known. These patterns are subtle, yet unmistakable when you become attuned to them. They show up in your life in various forms through numbers, symbols, events, or even words and phrases that seem to appear repeatedly, almost as if they are following you. This is not a matter of coincidence, rather. These repeating patterns are clear signals from a higher power, a way for the divine to catch your attention and direct your focus. The concept of repetition is deeply symbolic. When something keeps appearing over and over again in your life, it's a form of emphasis. It's as if the universe is highlighting something you need to pay attention to, something that may hold the key to your next step or deeper understanding. The patterns are never random, they are always purposeful. The divine uses these repeated symbols and events to guide you, to point you towards something that requires your attention or reflection. Often these repeating patterns arise when you're contemplating a decision, seeking clarity, or moving through a phase of uncertainty. For instance, you may notice a particular number sequence wherever you go on clocks, license plates, receipts, or even in conversations. The appearance of the same number over and over is not a random occurrence, but a sign that there's something for you to understand. Similarly, you may find yourself encountering the same words or phrases repeatedly, whether in conversations, books, or even music. These phrases will seem to stand out, as if they are calling for your attention. It is the divine's way of communicating directly with you, signaling that there is a message hidden within these repetitions. It's important to note that these patterns often surface when you're grappling with a question or a challenge in your life. The divine uses these repetitions to steer you toward the right direction. If you're unsure about a decision, you may begin to notice certain signs that appear repeatedly, urging you to either proceed or reconsider your path. These signs could be as simple as repeatedly hearing the same advice from different people or encountering similar situations that seem to mirror your current dilemma. The key is to be observant and open to these patterns, even when they seem unrelated to the question at hand. When you become aware of these repetitions, it's important to pause and reflect. Ask yourself what the repeating pattern might be trying to tell you. There's often a deeper meaning behind these signs, but it requires introspection to uncover it. You might find that the answer you're seeking is hidden within the pattern itself, waiting for you to recognize it. The divine isn't forceful in its communication. Instead, it offers subtle hints, waiting for you to take notice and decode the message. Another form that repeating patterns take is through events or circumstances that keep playing out in your life. Have you ever noticed that the same type of situation keeps occurring, almost like you're stuck in a loop? It could be in relationships, career, or personal development. This is often a sign that there is something you need to learn, a lesson that has yet to be fully understood. Until you grasp the deeper meaning of the experience, the pattern will continue to repeat itself, gently urging you to break the cycle by acknowledging and resolving the underlying issue. These repetitive events serve as spiritual signposts, directing your attention to areas of your life that require growth, healing, or change. It's also worth mentioning that repeating patterns often emerge in times of transition or transformation. When you're on the verge of a major shift, whether it's spiritual, emotional, or physical, these patterns intensify. It's as though the universe is trying to prepare you for the change, ensuring that you don't miss the signals that are being sent your way. This is why it's so important to cultivate a sense of awareness, to be conscious of the patterns unfolding in your life, because they are often precursors to significant change or growth. These repeating patterns are not merely external events or symbols, they often resonate deeply within you. There is a certain feeling that accompanies them, a sense that the repetition is not accidental. When you encounter a repeating pattern, you might feel a sense of recognition, as though you've seen this before, even if the details are different. This inner resonance is a powerful indicator that the pattern is meant for you, that it is a form of communication tailored specifically to your journey. The beauty of repeating patterns is that they invite you into a deeper dialogue with the divine. They encourage you to slow down, to pay attention, and to reflect on the messages being sent your way. These patterns are not to be rushed or dismissed. They are like pieces of a puzzle, slowly coming together to reveal a bigger picture. Each time a pattern repeats, it offers you another opportunity to understand, to align, and to act in accordance with the divine plan unfolding in your life. By recognizing and honoring these patterns, you open yourself to a more profound relationship with the divine. You begin to trust that the universe is always communicating with you, guiding you through these subtle repetitions. And as you become more attuned to this form of communication, you will find that life begins to flow with greater ease, purpose, and meaning. Dreams have long been recognized as a channel through which the divine communicates with us. They are not simply random sequences of images or thoughts that arise when we are asleep, but often carry deep, symbolic messages meant to guide, inspire, or warn us. The world of dreams is a realm where the boundaries between the conscious and the subconscious blur, creating space for a higher power to communicate with us in ways that our waking mind may not always be open to receiving. When we dream, we are in a state of openness and receptivity that allows the divine to send messages that bypass the filters of logic and reason. These messages may come in the form of vivid imagery, recurring symbols, or even direct dialogue. The challenge, however, lies in recognizing these dreams for what they are, a form of divine communication. Dreams often tap into a deeper level of consciousness, one that we may not access during our waking hours. In this state, the soul is more attuned to higher vibrations, more sensitive to spiritual guidance. Divine messages delivered through dreams can take many forms, from symbolic representations of our current life situation to visions of what lies ahead. Sometimes dreams are direct, clear, and unmistakable, providing answers to questions we have been pondering. Other times they are more cryptic, requiring reflection and interpretation to uncover their true meaning. The beauty of dreams is that they allow the divine to speak to us in a language beyond words, using symbols, metaphors, and emotions to communicate truths that our conscious mind might resist or fail to understand. One of the key aspects of receiving divine messages through dreams is learning to differentiate between ordinary dreams and those that carry spiritual significance. Not every dream is a divine message, but when a dream feels particularly vivid or resonates deeply within you, it is worth paying attention to. These are the dreams that often leave a lingering feeling upon waking, a sense that there is something more to be understood. In such cases, it is helpful to reflect on the imagery, symbols, and emotions that appeared in the dream. The divine often uses symbols that are unique to you, symbols that resonate with your personal experiences, beliefs, and emotions. What might seem insignificant at first glance could hold profound meaning when viewed through the lens of your own life journey. Recurring dreams, in particular, are a strong indication that the divine is attempting to convey a message. When the same dream or similar themes keep appearing over time, it's a signal that there is an important lesson or insight waiting to be understood. The divine is persistent, and if a message is not understood the first time, it will continue to be delivered in different forms until it is acknowledged. These recurring dreams are a form of divine repetition, urging you to pay attention to something in your life that may require change, healing, or deeper contemplation. Dreams that convey divine messages often evoke powerful emotions, even after you wake up. You might feel a sense of awe, peace, or urgency as you recall the dream, and this emotional response is part of the message itself. It is a signal from the divine that the dream is meant to resonate with you on a deeper level. The emotions you experience in the dream are as significant as the images and symbols that appear. They are meant to stir something within you, to bring your awareness to a particular area of your life that requires attention. At times, dreams may serve as a form of guidance, offering insight into a situation you are facing or a decision you are grappling with. The divine uses dreams to provide clarity, especially when you are at a crossroads or in need of direction. A dream might reveal a path forward that you hadn't considered or show you the potential outcome of a choice you are contemplating. In these moments, the dream serves as a form of divine counsel, offering wisdom and insight that your conscious mind may have overlooked. It's also important to recognize that not all divine messages in dreams are positive or comforting. Sometimes dreams come as warnings, alerting you to potential dangers or challenges that lie ahead. These dreams might evoke feelings of fear or unease, but they are not meant to frighten you. Rather, they are intended to prepare you, to make you aware of something that could impact your life. These warnings are an act of protection, a way for the divine to guide you away from harm or steer you in a different direction. The divine also communicates through dreams to help us heal and grow. Dreams can bring to the surface unresolved emotions, past traumas, or hidden fears that need to be addressed. In this way, they act as a mirror, reflecting back to us aspects of ourselves that we may have buried or ignored. By confronting these emotions in the dream state, we are given the opportunity to process and release them, allowing for spiritual growth and healing. The divine uses dreams as a tool for personal transformation, guiding us toward greater self-awareness and wholeness. To fully embrace the divine messages that come through dreams, it is important to develop the habit of paying attention to them. Keep a dream journal by your bedside and make it a practice to record your dreams as soon as you wake up. Over time, patterns may emerge, and you may begin to see the threads of divine communication weaving through your dreams. By honoring your dreams and reflecting on their meaning, you open yourself to a deeper connection with the divine, allowing these messages to guide and inspire you on your spiritual journey. Synchronistic events are some of the most powerful ways that the divine communicates with you. Often described as meaningful coincidences, these occurrences go beyond chance, hinting at a deeper, unseen force guiding your life. When you begin to recognize synchronicity, you realize that life is not a series of random events, but a beautifully orchestrated sequence of experiences that reveal the interconnectedness of all things. Through synchronistic events, the divine speaks to you, aligning moments in time and space that are designed to catch your attention and provide guidance. At first glance, a synchronistic event might seem like a coincidence, but when you reflect on it, you start to understand its deeper meaning. For example, you might be thinking about someone you haven't spoken to in years, and suddenly they call or text you out of the blue. Or perhaps you're wrestling with a difficult decision, and everywhere you turn, you encounter signs that seem to be pointing you in a particular direction, whether it's a song on the radio, a book that falls off the shelf, or a chance conversation with a stranger. These events are not accidents. They are intentional messages crafted by the divine to guide you toward greater clarity and understanding. The key to recognizing synchronistic events lies in your level of awareness. Often people dismiss these occurrences as mere coincidence because they are not attuned to the subtle ways the universe communicates. But the more you pay attention to these events, the more frequently they seem to occur. It's as though the universe responds to your heightened awareness by increasing the number of signs it sends your way. Synchronistic events are a form of divine feedback, letting you know that you are on the right path or encouraging you to shift direction if needed. The divine uses these moments to affirm your thoughts, feelings, or actions, providing you with encouragement or redirection in times of uncertainty. Synchronistic events can appear in any area of your life, from relationships to career choices to personal growth. When you encounter one of these events, it's essential to pause and reflect on its meaning. Ask yourself what the event might be trying to tell you, and how it relates to your current situation. Often the answers are not immediately clear, but if you trust the process and remain open, the meaning will reveal itself in time. These events are part of the divine language, a way for the universe to engage with you in real time, showing you that it is always working in the background, orchestrating circumstances to support your highest good. One of the most significant aspects of synchronistic events is that they are often tied to your thoughts or intentions. When you focus on a particular desire or question, you may notice that related signs begin to appear in your life. This is not a coincidence, but rather a reflection of the law of attraction at work. Your thoughts are energy, and the divine uses that energy to create synchronicities that help bring your desires to fruition. These events act as confirmation that you are aligned with your purpose, or that you are moving in the direction of your goals. When you notice these synchronistic signs, it is a signal from the divine to trust the process, even if the path ahead seems unclear. Synchronistic events also have a way of connecting you with the right people at the right time, that you might meet someone who introduces you to a new opportunity, or who provides the exact advice or support you need in a given moment. These connections are not random, they are part of the divine plan, bringing individuals into your life who will play a role in your growth or success. When you meet someone in a seemingly random yet significant way, it's important to recognize that this meeting was divinely orchestrated. The people who come into your life through synchronistic events often have something valuable to teach you, or they may help you navigate a particular challenge. Timing is another crucial element of synchronistic events. Often these events occur precisely the moment you need them, even if you didn't realize it beforehand. You might be feeling stuck, unsure of your next move, and then suddenly an opportunity presents itself, seemingly out of nowhere. This is the divine working behind the scenes, ensuring that things align in perfect timing for your highest benefit. These events serve as reminders that there is a larger plan at work, one that is far greater than what you can see or understand in the moment. Even when things seem delayed or uncertain, synchronistic events reveal that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. As you grow more attuned to these moments of divine alignment, you begin to trust the process of life more fully. Instead of forcing things to happen or worrying about the future, you learn to surrender to the flow of synchronistic events. You recognize that the universe is always working in your favor, sending you signs and guidance along the way. This shift in perspective allows you to move through life with greater ease, knowing that you are supported and guided by something far greater than yourself. Synchronistic events are an invitation to deepen your connection with the divine and to trust in the guidance that is constantly being offered to you. When you acknowledge and honor these events, you open yourself up to even more divine communication. Life becomes a series of meaningful moments, each one carefully crafted to support your spiritual growth and evolution. By paying attention to these events and reflecting on their significance, you become an active participant in the divine plan, co-creating your reality in partnership with the universe. Emotional resonance is one of the clearest ways the divine communicates with you, offering subtle yet powerful cues that guide your path. When something emotionally resonates with you, it's more than just a passing feeling or fleeting thought. It's a deep, internal recognition that stirs something within your heart, making you feel connected to a higher truth. This sense of resonance often arises when you encounter situations, ideas, or people that align with your spirit. It is a form of divine affirmation, signaling that you are on the right path, or that the direction you are contemplating holds significance for your life's journey. At its core, emotional resonance is the language of the soul. The divine doesn't always communicate through words or physical signs. Often it speaks through feelings that evoke strong, undeniable reactions. These emotions may come as feelings of joy, peace, or even a sudden burst of inspiration when you encounter something meaningful. You might hear a piece of music, read a particular passage, or listen to someone speak, and suddenly feel a rush of emotion that tells you this is important. This is the divine's way of drawing your attention to something that carries significance, something that is meant to shape or influence your path. When you experience emotional resonance, it's important to recognize it for what it is: a form of divine guidance. These emotions are not random, they are a direct connection to something higher. They are urging you to pay attention, to listen more closely to your inner voice, and to follow the feeling that stirs within you. Many times, emotional resonance comes as a confirmation. You might have been contemplating a certain decision or seeking guidance, and then, seemingly out of nowhere, an experience touches you so deeply that you feel assured in the path you are about to take. It's as though the divine is using your emotions to signal that you are aligned with your highest good. Sometimes emotional resonance shows up in unexpected ways that you might be going about your daily life, not particularly seeking any answers, when suddenly you feel a deep connection to something that crosses your path. It could be an idea, a person, or even a situation that triggers an emotional reaction. These moments are often divine nudges, small reminders that there is more at play than what meets the eye. They are invitations to explore deeper, to follow the feeling and see where it leads. When you listen to these emotional signals, you open yourself to the wisdom and guidance that the divine is offering. allowing your emotions to be a compass for your journey. Not every emotion is a message from the divine, but when something truly resonates, it has a different quality to it. It lingers, it feels profound, and it has a way of staying with you long after the moment has passed. This emotional resonance isn't just about surface-level feelings, it taps into the core of who you are. It speaks to your soul, stirring feelings that go beyond logic or reason. It's a sense of knowing that transcends the intellect, a feeling that something within you has been touched by the divine. Emotional resonance can also show up in challenging times, offering a sense of peace or reassurance when you need it most. In moments of doubt, fear, or confusion, you might suddenly feel a wave of calm or a quiet sense of certainty, even when the external circumstances haven't changed. This is the divine reminding you that you are not alone, that you are supported and guided, even in the midst of difficulty. The emotions you feel in these moments are more than just a reaction to the situation. They are a deeper connection to the divine energy that surrounds you, helping you navigate through life's challenges with grace and trust. Moreover, emotional resonance can serve as a call to action. When something resonates deeply within you, it often comes with a sense of purpose or direction. It's as though the divine is asking you to take notice, to engage with whatever is causing this strong emotional response. Whether it's an idea that excites you, a cause that moves you, or a dream that inspires you, emotional resonance is a signal that you are being called to act. The emotions you feel are not just there to be felt, they are meant to guide you towards something greater. The divine uses your emotions to pull you toward experiences that will help you grow, evolve, and fulfill your purpose. In relationships, emotional resonance plays a crucial role in identifying connections that are divinely inspired. You may meet someone and feel an instant connection, a sense of familiarity that goes beyond just liking their personality. This feeling of resonance is often a sign that this person has entered your life for a reason, whether to teach you, to support you, or to walk with you on your spiritual path. The emotions you experience in these moments are the divine's way of highlighting relationships that will be meaningful to your soul's journey. Learning to trust emotional resonance is key to deepening your relationship with the divine. The more you pay attention to how certain situations, ideas, or people make you feel, the more attuned you become to the subtle ways the divine communicates. It's easy to get caught up in overthinking or trying to rationalize every decision, but emotional resonance is an invitation to step out of your mind and into your heart. It encourages you to follow the feelings that stir your soul, even when they don't seem to make logical sense. By honoring these emotions, you allow the divine to guide you in ways that your intellect might never have considered. Emotional resonance is about connection to the divine, to yourself, and to the world around you. It's a reminder that the divine is always communicating, always offering guidance, and always present in your life. When you tune into these emotions and let them guide you, you align yourself with the flow of divine energy, allowing it to move you toward your highest potential and greatest joy. Scripture and sacred texts have long been regarded as a profound medium through which the divine communicates to humanity. These ancient writings, whether from religious traditions such as Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Judaism, or others, carry a timeless wisdom that transcends cultural and historical boundaries. When we engage with these texts, we are not merely reading words on a page, we are entering into a conversation with the divine, one that speaks directly to our hearts, our minds, and our souls. The divine uses Scripture as a guide, offering insights and lessons that help us navigate the complexities of life. Many who read these sacred texts find that they often encounter passages that seem to resonate deeply with their current circumstances. A verse or a parable may stand out, appearing almost as if it were written specifically for them at that particular moment in their life. This is no accident. It is the divine's way of communicating through the written word, sending personalized messages that provide clarity, reassurance, or even challenge, depending on what is needed at that time. Sacred texts are imbued with layers of meaning, and the divine speaks to us through these layers, often revealing new interpretations and insights as we grow in our spiritual journey. A passage that once seemed obscure or irrelevant may suddenly come alive, offering a profound revelation that speaks directly to our soul. This process of continual discovery is one of the ways the divine communicates, ensuring that sacred texts remain a living, dynamic source of wisdom rather than static relics of the past. The divine knows exactly what we need to hear at any given moment, and when we approach Scripture with an open heart, we allow ourselves to receive these messages in their fullest form. What makes Scripture so powerful is its ability to transcend the limitations of time and space. Although these texts were written thousands of years ago, they continue to speak to us in the present. This is because the divine truths contained within them are eternal. They address the universal human experience: love, loss, hope, fear, faith, and doubt in ways that are just as relevant today as they were centuries ago. When we read these sacred writings, we are reminded that the challenges we face are not unique to us. They are part of the shared human journey, one that the divine understands and guides us through. Another remarkable aspect of Scripture is its ability to meet each individual exactly where they are. Whether you are seeking comfort in times of sorrow, guidance in moments of confusion, or inspiration when you feel lost, Scripture can provide what you need. The same passage may speak differently to different people, or even to the same person at different points in their life. This personalized nature of divine communication through Scripture is a testament to its power and mystery. The divine tailors the message to your soul, knowing exactly how to reach you in the most effective and meaningful way. The divine also communicates through Scripture by using it as a mirror. As we read these sacred texts, we are often confronted with aspects of ourselves, our strengths, our weaknesses, our fears, and our hopes. Scripture has a way of shining a light on the parts of ourselves that we may have overlooked or ignored, calling us to greater self-awareness and transformation. In this way, the divine uses Scripture not only to comfort us, but to challenge us to grow. It invites us to step into a deeper understanding of who we are and who we are meant to become. Moreover, sacred texts often contain stories of individuals who have faced trials and uncertainties much like we do. The divine communicates through these stories by showing us that we are not alone in our struggles. Whether it's the perseverance of Job, the faith of Abraham, or the wisdom of Solomon, these figures provide models for how we can navigate our own lives with grace, faith, and resilience. Through these stories, the divine offers encouragement, reminding us that even in the darkest moments, there is a path forward, and that divine guidance is always present, even when it feels distant. In addition to stories and parables, sacred texts often contain direct instructions or teachings that offer clear guidance for how to live a life aligned with the divine. These teachings, whether they come in the form of commandments, proverbs, or discourses, provide a moral and spiritual framework for navigating the world. The divine uses these texts to communicate timeless principles that lead to a life of harmony, peace, and fulfillment. When we align our actions and decisions with these teachings, we are participating in the divine plan for our lives, allowing the wisdom of the ages to inform and direct our path. Scripture and sacred texts also serve as a source of hope. In times of despair or uncertainty, the divine communicates through promises and prophecies that remind us of the greater plan at work. These texts often speak of restoration, renewal, and divine justice, assuring us that no matter how difficult our circumstances may seem, there is always hope for a better future. This message of hope is one of the most powerful ways the divine speaks through Scripture, encouraging us to hold on to faith, even when the way forward is unclear. Engaging with Scripture requires more than just reading. It calls for reflection, meditation, and openness to the divine voice speaking through the text. When we approach Scripture with a sincere desire to understand and connect with the divine, we allow ourselves to become vessels for its wisdom. We open our hearts to receive the messages that the divine wishes to convey, trusting that the right words will find us at the right time. This act of engaging with Scripture is itself a form of divine communication, a sacred exchange in which we listen, receive, and respond to the eternal wisdom offered through these holy writings. Scripture and sacred texts offer us a direct line of communication with the divine, providing wisdom, guidance, comfort, and challenge exactly when we need it. The more we immerse ourselves in these texts, the more we open ourselves to the rich and nuanced ways the divine seeks to speak to us, shaping our lives and guiding us on our spiritual journey. Through these sacred writings, the divine continues to reach out to humanity, offering timeless truths that lead to a life of purpose, peace, and profound connection with the eternal. The still small voice is perhaps one of the most profound yet subtle ways in which the divine communicates with us. It does not shout or demand attention, rather. It whispers softly, waiting for us to quiet our minds and listen. This voice comes not from outside, but from within, emerging from the depths of our soul as an inner knowing or gentle nudge. It is a source of divine guidance that speaks to us in moments of stillness, when we have set aside the noise and distractions of the world and turned inward to listen with our hearts. Many people expect divine communication to be dramatic, marked by obvious signs or grand gestures. But often it is in the quiet, unassuming moments that the most powerful guidance comes. The still, small voice is not a literal voice. It is more of an inner prompting or feeling of certainty that directs us toward what is right. It may come as a sudden clarity in the midst of confusion, or as a gentle reminder to trust, even when circumstances seem uncertain. This inner voice aligns with the divine will, offering us insights that resonate deeply with our true nature and the path we are meant to walk. This voice is always there, patiently waiting for us to tune into it, but it is easily drowned out by the constant chatter of our minds and the external world. When we are caught up in worry, fear, or overthinking, we may struggle to hear it. This is why moments of stillness, meditation, and quiet reflection are essential for recognizing and connecting with this inner guidance. In these moments, the mind slows down, and the noise fades into the background, allowing the still, small voice to emerge with greater clarity. Listening to this voice requires trust. It is often subtle, and its messages may not always align with the logic or expectations of the ego. The ego wants certainty, control, and clear answers, but the still, small voice speaks in a language of faith and intuition. It guides us to trust in the unseen, to take steps that may not make sense on the surface, but feel right on a deeper level. This voice nudges us toward what is in alignment with our highest good, even if the path it points to is uncertain or challenging. It asks us to trust that the divine is leading us in the right direction, even if we cannot see the full picture yet. One of the hallmarks of the still, small voice is its calm and gentle nature. It never forces or coerces, it simply offers guidance and lets us decide whether to follow it. Unlike the mind, which can be loud, anxious, and filled with conflicting thoughts, the still, small voice is steady and sure. It speaks in a way that brings peace, even when the message challenges us to step out of our comfort zone. When we hear it, we often feel a deep sense of inner calm, as though a burden has been lifted and we know exactly what to do, even if we cannot explain why. Recognizing the still, small voice can be difficult in the beginning, especially if we are used to relying on external validation or the louder voices of fear and doubt. But with practice, we learn to discern its presence. It often comes in moments of clarity, when we least expect it, perhaps while taking a walk in nature, during a quiet moment of reflection, or in the space between thoughts. This inner guidance is always gentle, never harsh or judgmental. It encourages us, uplifts us, and reminds us of the truth we already know deep down, even if we have forgotten it in the busyness of life. The still, small voice often speaks to us through our intuition. It is the feeling we get when something just feels right, even if we can't logically explain why. It is that sense of knowing without knowing, a quiet confidence that comes from being aligned with the divine flow of life. When we follow this inner guidance, things often fall into place in ways we could not have predicted. The divine works through the still, small voice to guide us toward experiences, people, and opportunities that support our growth and fulfill our purpose. This voice can also come in the form of warnings or redirections. If we are moving in a direction that is not aligned with our true path, the still, small voice may gently guide us back. It might manifest as a feeling of discomfort or unease, the sense that something is off, even if we can't pinpoint exactly why. This is the divine's way of steering us away from choices that do not serve our highest good. Listening to this guidance can save us from unnecessary detours and help us stay aligned with our purpose. Over time, as we cultivate the ability to listen to the still, small voice, we begin to notice its presence more frequently. It may not always come in moments of formal prayer or meditation. It may arise in the middle of everyday activities, offering guidance when we need it most. The more we learn to trust and follow this inner voice, the stronger it becomes. We develop a deeper sense of connection to the divine, knowing that we are always being guided, even when the path ahead is unclear. The still small voice is a powerful reminder that divine communication is not always dramatic or overwhelming. Often the most profound guidance comes in the quiet moments, when we take the time to listen to the whispers of our soul. It teaches us that we do not need to search outside of ourselves for answers. Everything we need to know is already within us, waiting to be revealed in the stillness. When we learn to listen to this inner voice, we align ourselves with the flow of divine wisdom, allowing it to guide us toward peace, fulfillment, and the realization of our true purpose. Silence and solitude are powerful states that allow us to tune into the divine and experience the depth of our inner being. In a world that is constantly filled with noise, distractions, and external demands, finding moments of silence and solitude can feel challenging. Yet it is within these moments of quiet that we are able to hear the divine most clearly. Silence and solitude provide the space we need to detach from the external world and reconnect with the internal. They are not just about the absence of noise or people, but about cultivating a stillness within ourselves, a stillness that allows us to listen to the subtle whispers of the divine. In silence, we begin to recognize the thoughts and emotions that usually go unnoticed amidst the constant noise of everyday life. We become aware of the inner chatter that often occupies our minds, the worries, fears, and desires that cloud our ability to hear the voice of the divine. Silence allows these thoughts to settle, creating space for clarity to emerge. It is in this state of stillness that the divine can communicate with us in the most intimate way. The noise of the external world fades away, and we are left with the purity of the present moment, where the divine presence is always available to us. Solitude, too, plays a crucial role in this process. In solitude, we separate ourselves from the influences and expectations of others, allowing us to focus entirely on our relationship with the divine. It is in these moments of aloneness that we can engage in deep self-reflection, asking the questions that truly matter. Who am I? What is my purpose? What is the divine asking of me in this moment? These questions are not easily answered when we are surrounded by the distractions and opinions of the world. Solitude creates the conditions for these answers to rise naturally from within, guided by the divine presence that dwells within each of us. Silence and solitude are not about isolation or withdrawing from life, rather. They are practices that deepen our connection to life itself. By turning inward, we cultivate a greater sense of awareness and presence that allows us to engage with the world in a more meaningful and authentic way. The more time we spend in silence and solitude, the more we come to realize that the answers we seek are not found in the external world, but within ourselves. The divine speaks through our own inner wisdom, and it is only by creating space for that wisdom to emerge that we can fully receive the guidance we need. In silence, we also become more attuned to the natural world around us. The sound of the wind rustling through the trees, the gentle flow of a stream, the stillness of a starry night, these experiences take on a deeper significance when we are in a state of inner quiet. Nature itself becomes a mirror of the divine presence, reflecting back to us the peace, harmony, and order that exists within the universe. In these moments, we feel a profound sense of connection to something greater than ourselves, a sense of belonging to the whole of creation. Silence allows us to experience this connection in a way that words cannot capture. Solitude, on the other hand, provides us with the opportunity to develop a deeper understanding of ourselves. When we are alone, we are not performing for others or trying to meet external expectations. We can simply be. This state of being allows us to see ourselves more clearly, to confront the parts of ourselves that we may have been avoiding or denying. In solitude, we come face to face with our own fears, insecurities, and limitations. But rather than running from these aspects of ourselves, we have the chance to embrace them with compassion and understanding. The divine speaks to us in these moments, reminding us that we are whole and worthy just as we are, and that even our perceived flaws are part of the divine plan. Silence and solitude also open the door to deeper spiritual practices such as meditation and prayer. In the stillness, we are able to enter into a state of communion with the divine, where words are not always necessary. Meditation allows us to quiet the mind and focus on the presence of the divine within us, while prayer becomes a heartfelt conversation, free from the distractions of the external world. These practices are enhanced by the silence and solitude we create, making it easier to connect with the divine and to receive the insights and guidance that are always available to us. One of the greatest gifts of silence and solitude is the sense of peace that comes from simply being present. In the hustle and bustle of daily life, we are often so focused on what we need to do next, on what we need to achieve or fix, that we forget to simply be. Silence and solitude remind us that we are human beings, not human doings. They invite us to slow down, to take a breath, and to reconnect with the essence of who we are. In this state of presence, we find that the divine is always with us, guiding us, supporting us, and loving us unconditionally. Silence and solitude are sacred spaces where the divine can enter our lives in a profound and transformative way. They are practices that invite us to step away from the noise of the world and to return to the quiet center of our being, where the divine presence is always waiting. In these moments of stillness, we remember who we truly are, divine beings with the power to create, to love, and to transform the world around us. Silence and solitude are not just practices, they are ways of life that bring us into closer alignment with the divine, allowing us to live with greater peace, purpose, and clarity. Through them, we come to understand that the divine is not something separate from us, but a presence that is always within us, guiding us every step of the way. Physical sensations are often overlooked as a means of divine communication, yet they serve as powerful indicators of the subtle messages that arise from the universe. Our bodies are attuned to energies and vibrations that can reveal insights about our emotional and spiritual states. When we pay attention to these sensations, we open ourselves to a deeper understanding of our connection to the divine and the guidance it offers us. Every emotion we experience is accompanied by physical sensations. When we feel joy, for instance, we may experience lightness in our chest or a warmth spreading through our body. Conversely, when fear or anxiety arises, we might feel tightness in our stomach or a racing heart. These sensations are not just random, they are signals from our body that reflect our inner state. When we learn to recognize and interpret these physical sensations, we can gain clarity about our feelings, choices, and the guidance we are receiving from the divine. For many, the first step in recognizing these physical sensations is becoming more attuned to the body. In our fast-paced lives, it is easy to become disconnected from our physical selves. We often ignore the signals our body sends, focusing instead on our thoughts and external circumstances. However, cultivating mindfulness can help bridge this gap. By slowing down and taking the time to check in with our bodies, we begin to notice the subtle sensations that arise. This practice can be as simple as taking a few moments each day to breathe deeply and observe how our body feels, allowing us to become more sensitive to the messages it conveys. As we engage in this practice, we may start to notice that certain physical sensations correspond to specific thoughts or situations. For example, a sudden wave of warmth may arise when we think about a loved one, or a sense of heaviness may accompany thoughts of stress or overwhelm. By tracking these patterns, we can begin to understand how our physical body responds to various stimuli, both internal and external. This awareness opens a pathway to deeper self-awareness, enabling us to recognize when something is aligned with our truth and when it is not. In addition to emotional responses, physical sensations can serve as signs or confirmations of divine guidance. Have you ever felt a shimmer down your spine when you received a piece of news, or experienced a rush of energy that propelled you to take action? These are often signs from the universe indicating that we are on the right path, or that we need to pay attention to something important. When we remain open to these sensations, we begin to recognize that they can serve as intuitive nudges or warnings, guiding us toward or away from particular choices or situations. Our bodies are also sensitive to the energies of others and the environments we inhabit. Have you ever entered a room and immediately felt a shift in energy? Perhaps you felt energized in one space and drained in another. These physical sensations are reflections of the vibrational frequencies present in our surroundings and the people we encounter. By tuning into how our bodies respond to different environments or interactions, we gain insight into what resonates with us and what does not. This awareness allows us to make conscious choices about where to spend our time and with whom we engage, aligning ourselves with energies that uplift and support us. Meditation and other spiritual practices can enhance our ability to connect with these physical sensations. When we quiet the mind and turn our focus inward, we create space for the body to communicate. During meditation, we may experience tingling sensations, warmth, or even pressure in certain areas of the body. These experiences can be profound affirmations of our connection to the divine. They remind us that we are not separate from the universe, but are instead integral parts of it, constantly receiving and transmitting energy. Listening to our physical sensations also involves practicing self-compassion. When we notice discomfort or pain in our bodies, it is essential to approach these sensations with curiosity rather than judgment. Instead of dismissing or avoiding them, we can ask ourselves what these sensations are trying to communicate. Are they signaling a need for rest, a change in direction, or perhaps an opportunity for healing? By honoring our bodies and their messages, we cultivate a deeper relationship with ourselves and with the divine. The more we practice recognizing and interpreting physical sensations, the more we strengthen our intuitive abilities. Over time, we may find that we can trust our bodies to guide us in our decisions, helping us discern what is truly in alignment with our highest good. This intuitive guidance can manifest in various forms, from a sense of ease when considering a choice to a physical aversion to something that does not resonate. By paying attention to these sensations, we become more attuned to the wisdom that resides within us, allowing us to navigate life with greater clarity and confidence. Physical sensations are a vital aspect of our spiritual journey. They serve as bridges between our physical existence and our spiritual essence, offering insights and guidance from the divine. By cultivating awareness of these sensations, we can deepen our connection to ourselves, to others, and to the universe as a whole. The body, when listened to with reverence and attention, becomes a profound source of wisdom, leading us to a greater understanding of our path and purpose. Embracing the messages our bodies convey allows us to live more authentically, in harmony with our true selves and the divine guidance that is always present. Unexplained clarity is a phenomenon that many people experience but often struggle to articulate or understand. It arises suddenly, often in moments when we least expect it, bringing with it a sense of insight that feels both profound and inexplicable. This clarity can emerge from deep contemplation, during times of quiet, or even amidst chaos. It's that striking moment when everything seems to fall into place, and we gain an understanding of our path, choices, or feelings that we could not grasp before. This experience is not merely a fleeting thought, it carries the weight of truth, often accompanied by a deep sense of knowing. When unexplained clarity occurs, it often feels like a light has been switched on in a dark room. Suddenly we see our situation, our relationships, or our goals with vividness and detail that had previously eluded us. This clarity transcends mere rational thought. It connects with our intuition, bringing forth insights that feel deeply aligned with our true selves. It is as if we have tapped into a reservoir of wisdom that has been waiting for the right moment to reveal itself. This phenomenon can sometimes feel spiritual, as though we are receiving guidance from a higher source or a deeper part of ourselves. The nature of unexplained clarity is often tied to our emotional state. In moments of confusion or turmoil, we may feel overwhelmed by our thoughts and emotions, making it difficult to discern what truly matters. However, when we allow ourselves the space to breathe, reflect, and simply be, clarity can emerge unexpectedly. It is in these quieter moments, whether through meditation, nature walks, or even moments of solitude, that we create a fertile ground for this clarity to take root. By stepping back from the noise of our daily lives, we allow our inner wisdom to rise to the surface. This clarity often brings with it a sense of relief. We may have been grappling with a decision or feeling stuck in a cycle of uncertainty, and then suddenly the answer feels apparent. This does not mean that the challenges we face disappear, but rather that we gain a perspective that allows us to navigate them with newfound confidence. It is as if a veil has been lifted, revealing the path forward that had been obscured. This process can be transformative, as it empowers us to take action based on insights that feel not only logical but deeply resonant with our core values. One remarkable aspect of unexplained clarity is its ability to connect us with our intuition. In a society that often prioritizes logic and reason, we may find ourselves sidelining our gut feelings or intuitive insights. However, when clarity strikes, it can feel as if our intuition is finally being validated. We recognize that the answers we have been seeking were always within us, waiting to be acknowledged. This realization can reinforce the importance of trusting ourselves and our inner compass, encouraging us to make decisions that align with our authentic selves. The experience of unexplained clarity can also manifest in our relationships. We may suddenly gain insight into dynamics that had previously felt confusing or challenging. This clarity can illuminate patterns, motivations, and emotions, helping us to understand not only our feelings but also the perspectives of others. It can shift our approach to communication, enabling us to express ourselves more openly and authentically. As we understand our own emotions and responses, we are better equipped to engage with others in a way that fosters deeper connections and resolves conflicts. Furthermore, unexplained clarity can serve as a catalyst for change. When we gain a clear understanding of what no longer serves us, whether in our careers, relationships, or personal habits, we are empowered to take action. This clarity often inspires us to let go of what holds us back, freeing us to pursue our true passions and purpose. The moment of insight can ignite a sense of determination, pushing us to embrace new opportunities and challenges with enthusiasm rather than fear. It's important to recognize that unexplained clarity is not a constant state, it ebbs and flows. After experiencing a moment of profound clarity, we may return to periods of uncertainty or doubt. This is part of the natural rhythm of life. However, the key is to cultivate practices that allow us to tap into that clarity when it arises. By engaging in mindfulness, self-reflection, and open-hearted listening to our inner selves, we can create the conditions for clarity to emerge more frequently. Sharing our moments of clarity with others can amplify their significance. When we express our insights, we not only solidify our understanding but also invite others to reflect on their own experiences. This communal sharing fosters a sense of connection and support, reminding us that we are all on a journey of discovery. As we learn from one another's insights, we deepen our collective understanding of the complexities of life and the divine guidance that is available to us all. Clarity serves as a reminder that we are never truly alone on our journeys. The insights we receive connect us to something larger than ourselves, guiding us toward our highest potential. By embracing these moments and trusting in the wisdom they bring, we navigate our lives with greater purpose and intention. This clarity, although sometimes fleeting, empowers us to make choices that resonate with our true selves, paving the way for a more fulfilling and authentic existence. In closing, the journey of recognizing divine communication through various signs is a profound exploration of our inner and outer worlds. As we learn to listen to inner promptings, observe repeating patterns, and interpret our dreams, we cultivate a heightened awareness that allows us to connect more deeply with the divine. The synchronistic events we encounter, the emotional resonance we feel, and the clarity that arises within us all serve as reminders that we are supported and guided in ways often beyond our understanding. Silence and solitude create the space for reflection and insight, while physical sensations and unexplained clarity provide us with tangible touchpoints of divine communication. Together, these elements weave a tapestry of connection, illustrating that we are never alone in our experiences. Instead, we are part of a larger narrative, where the divine speaks through our lives, guiding us toward our true purpose and highest potential. As we embrace these signs and messages, we invite a sense of peace, understanding, and empowerment into our lives. By remaining open to the ways in which the divine communicates, we foster a deeper relationship with ourselves and the universe around us. In this sacred dance of awareness, we come to realize that each moment holds the potential for revelation and growth, illuminating our paths as we walk forward with intention and grace.